Hey everybody, this is Susie Ruin from the Gilneas server, and I thought I would reach out to you guys today and just give you a couple of ideas of some things to do in World of Warcraft before Battle for Azeroth launches. Just a couple of ideas here. So this is more of a top 10 list, and much of this stuff many of you already know. Some folks may be on the fence about playing World of Warcraft again, or may have just returned for several different reasons. And I'll get to that in a minute, but this video is just my top 10 things to do, and is just my personal sort of opinion, personal top 10 ideas. So the reason why a lot of people may be coming back is because recently Blizzard stopped charging, or they've announced they're going to stop charging, I should say, for the previous expansions individually. So you can get started with World of Warcraft with a much lower barrier to entry now. And this is starting with the launch of BFA. So when you purchase BFA's launch, all the other content that came before that, Wrath of the Lich King, Burning Crusade, all other expansions, they come free with your subscription, which is super good. This will bring, I think this is going to usher in a new wave of players, as well as hold tight with the oncoming launch of BFA for the people that are still playing. So hopefully their servers are ready for that. We'll see how it goes. So that being said, I thought it would be a good idea just to sort of run down a top 10 list of things to do before BFA, because a lot of people are coming back right now and noticing that the game's a lot different. So the first thing I suggest is to do the quest line to Darkshore. Now the way this works is you can do this on one character per faction, and it'll unlock it for all of your alts, right? So if you do it on your, say, Alliance Rogue, your Alliance Priest, Paladin, and any other alts you may have on that faction, can choose to only do the first part of the quest and then skip the rest. It'll prompt you for it at your faction leader's location so that you can skip that. So you only have to do it once per alliance, once per horde, and then basically you get a free ride for the rest. Now what this does is, if you haven't already done this or are returning, you'll eventually you'll be summoned by your faction leader to complete a quest chain. And it takes you to Darkshore, and this will unlock dailies that you can complete per character each day. So that'd be my number one suggestion. Number two, test the bounty and PvP areas at Darkshore. While you're there, there is a PvP system put in place called War Mode, and if you activate this, what ends up happening is you will be able to see players of opposing factions as well as your own doing the quest line there in Darkshore as well. And in addition to that, they're also going to have some crates that drop from the sky every once in a while that contain valuable gear and things of that nature. I played this yesterday and it was very interesting. They do have something in the way of a bounty system, so that you can go in and you can basically start killing people, and when you kill up to, I think, like 10 players, you're marked with a bounty. And you show up on the map to the opposing faction. So I just want to point out how easy it was to sort of kill someone that had been marked. I just simply /local chat said, hey, everybody pull up your maps, and do you see the guy down there? Let's start a group and kill that guy. And we did that, and it took about 2 minutes, and that guy was dead. So if you do get marked with a bounty, realize that you are visible to both factions on the map, and you will be killed promptly. I mean, it didn't take us long to just rush the person and take them down. Of course, they were in a group, so they were a little trickier to do, but regardless, it shows up on the opposing faction's map, and you are a marked man or woman. Another thing that you may do, and I'll kind of lump this in, but we're going to call this number 3, is if you've been on break and have returned, check your PvP setup and try it out. PvP templates have been removed, and now there's an honor system involved, and if you've leveled up previously, maybe check your mounts and make sure that you have your PvP mounts and things of that nature that have been awarded to you when you log in, because you'll notice that you'll be gaining honor once you start logging in from the levels that you've completed in Legion. So just check that out. But the PvP setup has been changed and it's been overhauled from what it was. Maybe check that out and make sure that you're talented for PvP before you do turn that war mode on. That'll make you, a little bit better and help your survivability, and you'll do a little bit better in PvP. So that would be my number 3. Number 4 is to go to your class hall and find your weekly chest and open it. Everyone gets free 1,000 Awakening Essences. And what that equates to is, that means that you get a free legendary. Now the nice thing about it is that these Awakening Essences can be used for a legendary of your choice, meaning you don't have to just turn them in for a random legendary anymore. In fact, if you go to the Dalaran vendor that you purchased the legendaries from, this vendor will allow you to pick any legendary of your choice. Now, we know that we're going into BFA, so my suggestion on this is basically to pick the best leveling or, best PvP sort of legendary you want to use if you think that that has some sort of bearing on your PvP performance, and that's what you're going to do. Go ahead and choose that. I would caution you maybe to stay away from the neck piece going into BFA because, as we know, BFA, we're going to be getting the Azerite necklace. And you get that very early on in the BFA campaign. So that being the case, what you're going to want to do is maybe stay away from the neck because you know you're going to get that replaced right away in BFA. Just my suggestion, totally up to you what you do with your Awakening Essences. But you'll get that, and you'll also, I believe, get a mythic key, a mythic plus key that you can do if you're into, doing mythics for whatever reason now. So that would be my number 4. Get your free legendary. In addition to that, I just want to mention as well with the legendaries, they can now be farmed easier because of the Awakening Essences being awarded for world quests around the Legion area. So just keep that in mind as well. Those world quests are now awarding amounts of Awakening Essences. Number 5 is to gear supplement your alts using the legendaries that you're getting and Dark Shore gear from the quest chain that I'd mentioned in number 1. So those quest chains that you do unlock dailies in that area in Dark Shore, and those dailies do award a eye level 210 gearing, which basically equates to Antorus plus gear. So you can check that out and gear up all your alts. Seems like it's a rotating list of gear that's changing daily. So every day you're able to log in with an alt and complete those quests, and you can get them up to, what would be considered starting BFA gear before the BFA launch. So just something to sort of keep in mind. And remember, everybody gets a free legendary too, so you'll also have that as well. My next thing, number 6, is going to be to update your UI. Okay, so with any patch or any update that World of Warcraft has, basically add-ons will need an update. This is no different. I suggest going through and updating all of your add-ons right away before you even log in, just to make sure that you're basically up to date with all the software. Otherwise, it's going to be a nightmare for you, and it's not going to be fun for anyone because you're going to log in with a recount that doesn't work, or whatever you use, details, etc. And that's no fun. No one wants to do that. It's hard to test how much damage or how much healing you're doing on a dummy or in a raid or whatever if your add-ons aren't giving you accurate numbers. So make sure that you can change your add-ons and update those before you log in. Just a suggestion. Number 7 is to farm for gold. So farming for gold is sort of a tried and true thing to do before any expansion. And the reason for that is that gold is used to purchase things on the auction house, obviously. And because of new expansions bringing in new gear and things of that nature, a lot of times you can use that gold to purchase and supplement gear for your max level characters once you hit 120 to hold you over until you get something better. And having a lot of gold helps you be able to do that. Of course, there's mounts and pets and things like that as well that you can spend that money on. And gold is just something that you always need. Having some downtime before an expansion hits is always a good time to start farming for gold and things of that nature. So go ahead and do that. That will be my number 7. Number 8 is to work on your Lore Master quests. If you haven't got the achievement and don't have the title for Lore Master, this is a very long and time-consuming sort of thing to do. So if you're at a loss as far as like what to do and feel a little bit bored, work on your Lore Master quests. So that would be my number 8. Number 9 is to roll a new class or test drive some new tunes. Just right now, just to see and how they feel and help decide how do you want to spend, your instant level token, because of the stat squish and everything that's changed. A lot of the classes don't feel quite the same. And your class, I just want to throw this out there, that even if you are test driving something right now, it may feel good to you right now, but at 120, things are going to feel a little bit different. Remember, we have the global cooldown back, so a lot of the things that we had, the abilities that we could cast before are now on GCD, meaning that they're not just instant cast anytime you want anymore. they're all on global. Not all abilities are, but a lot of classes do feel a little slower and don't feel quite as fast and reactive as they did up to this point. So go ahead and do some test drives on some characters, see what you like, see if you can decide on what you want to play for BFA, and what type of role you want to play. Do you want to tank? Do you want to heal? Do you want to do DPS? Try out different sort of races and classes with those types of roles and find out what it is you want to play. The test drive option that you have right now to try out a tune at level, 110 or whatever, super handy. Right now with the GCD and everything, you can get a really good idea of sort of how that's going to perform. Take into consideration that things going forward at 120 aren't going to be the same, but it will give you an idea of sort of the abilities and different things you can do with those classes so that you can make that decision right now as far as how you think that's going to project into the future in those higher levels. So that would be my number 9. Number 10 is take a break. If you just don't feel like playing World of Warcraft and just want to, or maybe you've played too much World of Warcraft over the last couple of years and through this Legion expansion, maybe just take a break and step away. Once the expansion drops, you'll be playing again probably non-stop anyway. So now is just as good a time as any to take a break. That's all I have for you guys today on this Friday top 10 list of 10 things to do before BFA. This is Susie Ruin from the Gilneas server. Thanks for watching.